Okay guys, this is our group frequency table in Excel. Remember, a group frequency table in Excel basically means organize all your data, raw data, into groups called class intervals or classes. We're going to find out here the class intervals and the frequency. We get this already done, but obviously we're going to do it step by step. Remember, this group frequency table works better when you have a big data set. Okay, so these are the steps. First, we have to find out the range, width, class intervals, and frequency. Okay, we're gonna do this in this other sheet. We're gonna explain step by step here. To find out the range, we need to know the maximum value and the minimum value. To do this, we're gonna need the maximum. We click here, we're gonna need the maximum function. So we put equal, we put max, we have this one, and we highlight all our raw data. In this case is here, and we hit enter, we get this. To the minimum is exactly the same, equal min, this one, and the same raw data here, and we hit enter. So to find out the range, so it's equal maximum value minus minimum value. So this is our range. To find out the sample size, we're gonna need this in order to calculate the width. So the sample size is basically equal count, function count, this one, and this is the value. Every function or every formula you're going to have here all what you need in order to work properly. Okay, so you're gonna highlight all your data value, and this is the sample size is 18. To find out the width, it's basically equal, it's the range divide by SQRT, this one, with the sample size. You close parentheses and you hit enter. So you see here we got decimals. So there are two ways to round it up this one. The first, you can just use a function equal round up this one, and you put the number here and you put comma 0. 0 basically means you don't have any decimals. We close parentheses and hit enter, and it's going to give you 6. Another way to do this is click right here, click right, and go to format cells, and you're going to number right here, and you need to take it off all the decimals until 0, 0, and you got there. Okay, so that's our two ways to have this. Okay, now in order to have these class intervals, we need to know the lower limit and the upper limit. The lower limit is basically the lowest value here in our data set. So it's 3. We only put like here, we click here, put equal 3, and it is 3. So for the below, we only need to add this value, this width of class interval value. In this case it's 6, so we put equal, we have this one, 3 plus 6, and we hit enter, and it's 9. Now for the rest, we need to keep adding the number. In this case it's 6, so it is equal 9 plus 6, and enter. So what we can do as well, we can just drag on this, and we got all the values here. We need to stop where it is the maximum value. In this case is 27. In our data set is 27, so that's when we know we can delete get these values because we don't have this right here. So to find out the upper limit is equal, the lower limit in this case is 3 plus, again, the 6, this is class size or width, and minus 1. Since we are working with a whole number, so you can just deduct the whole number 1, and then we need to press enter. So here's equal this value plus 6, that's the width, and enter 8. So now we can just drag this and we get all the results, because 8 plus 6 is 14, 14 plus 6 is 20, 20 plus 6 is 26, 26 plus 6 is 32. However, we don't have this value on our data set, so we can just ignore, delete that value. To find out the frequency, we need to highlight all this, and we're gonna put the formula here. It's equal frequency is this one, and we have right here what we need in order to this form works properly. So data array is basically all our raw data, comma, and bins array, it's basically this one, the upper limit, and we close. And since we have here the old version in Windows, we cannot just hit enter, we need to press Ctrl Shift enter in order to have this, all the results. If you have more modern Windows, you can just press enter. So there you go, we have now everything here. Obviously class intervals is basically this one right here, so 3, 8, 9, 14, 15, 20. Let me put this here very quick. 3, 8, so between 9 hours and 14 hours, 15, 20, 21 to 26, and this one just 27. That's all. We have all this raw data. That's the people that we ask about how many hours did they spend on Netflix last week. I'm going to explain with the example, so it's going to be easier to understand. So 10 people say they spend between 3 and 8 hours a week. 6 people between 9 and 14 hours. There is no one who spend between 15 and 20. There is one who spend between 21 and 26. We see here in the raw data there is someone who said 24 hours. So that's how we get. And the last one, 27 hours, just only one person. So as you can see, doing this, they are giving us insights. That's all guys, see you in the next video. This is only by stay tuned for more.